Red Planet, Ghosts on Mars, Mars Attacks. That's the most successful film that has Mars in the title and is a B movie.
Matt Damon, The Martian.
Okay. My fact has been destroyed.
Round 3 is technology, and first up we have Laura.
Okay, so in terms of tech, I decided to Google what sort of tech you can own for your moggy. Now, among various sort of self-animated toys, etc., laser pens...
Sorry, what?
Self-animated toys. I'm trying to decide if you mean like kinetically or on the screen. Either way, worried for your explanation.
I was going to say, what was that famous film from like the 80s that wasn't it Sam the Cat or something? No, it was a really famous sexually explorative film about a cat and a chicken or something.
I'm not sure which film that is, but I'm sure the boys.
Day?
No, I don't think so. It's something the cat. It's like Felix, not Felix the cat though, because it's something, but Sam the cat.
I haven't heard of it, so.
I'll have to Google it in a minute. So anyway, these animated toys, what do they do?
Well, I wasn't really going to talk about those. I was going to talk about what you can buy to monitor your feline moggies at home. For example, there is a gadget that was formerly known as Tag, which is now called Whistle GPS Pet Tracker. And it helps the owner keep an eye on their cats thanks to GPS technology. It basically allows you to monitor where it goes, how far it goes, what it's up to, if it's sleeping, its resting sort of situation. It's a bit, I don't know, Pokemon Go, but without the actual cat. And just make sure what it's up to whilst you're at work. So going, it's in the neighbour's pond. Good.
See, the BBC did something similar to this where they tracked the movements of a bunch of cats in the neighbourhood. And the thing is, I don't know if I'd want to know, because you know how you hear that your cat is hanging out at the neighbour's house? Well, look at the cat's tracker. Oh, okay. So 8 o'clock, I fed him breakfast. 9 o'clock, the neighbour fed him breakfast. 10 o'clock, the next neighbour fed him breakfast. Then he had a little snooze. Then he got lunch at the neighbour's again. It would be terrible. Or maybe I'd need to know that if that would explain why the cats are so fat.
Well, one of the cats is so fat.
Yeah. The youngest one, strangely.
We're going to have to explain that we own 2 cats called Mia and Cassie at some point.
I think people twig that one, but thanks for clarifying.
They're not dogs.
They're not dogs,
Chris,
so we can't drug them.
Chris really, really wants...
No, they're not dogs, so you can drug them. Don't care about the cats, care about the dogs.
What about squirrels?
I do
Could
care
you drug a
about
squirrel?
Mia and Cassie. I'm not sure. They're considered like tree rodents, aren't they?
I was going to say, I'm not saying could you, I'm saying would you.
Would? Oh, good.
That was
this is the moral question.
You can drug squirrels.
Okay,
they
on the
are
subject
susceptible.
of drugging animals, I'm going to say I'm the ethical man. And what I mean by that is that the ethical man knows that he shouldn't cheat, whereas the moral man won't. So in this I'm saying I know that I shouldn't drug a squirrel.
Whose fact is it now?
We're still on mine, I'm only halfway through.
Right, Laura, do you want to finish your fact up?
Another thing that you can buy, so the first one is roughly retails for about $80. The second one retails for more like $200, and it's called PetCube. And it's like a baby monitoring system for your domesticated cat with a wide-angle camera that streams high-definition video and a speaker so you can call out to soothe your pet whilst it's at home without you. What makes this a treat for cats and cat owners, however, is the built-in laser that you can control from your phone, allowing you to play with your kitty from virtually anywhere.
Soothe your cat and then add a laser to the top of it. That's like putting Enya on and then saying let's go for a game of paintball.
I like this idea actually, yeah.
Always use scientific terms very ambiguously. There's so it has a laser, right, and to play with your cat. Okay, so less than 1 megawatt then, that's fine. So that's not going to burn a hole through it.
Oh, because we've never used laser pens to entertain the cats that'll shine halfway across a field.
Yeah, but you might also
but sometimes you want to burn a cat.
And when David listens to stories and they say laser and they do not quantify how powerful it is, he's worried that someone else has made a Death Star before him.
Anyway, Chris, you're up next.
Okay, technology. Well, I had 2 facts for this, and it was in case that, again, I had something stolen from me, being the last one, and to foolishly not submit my facts for previous checking. I'm going to go with one that I think's slightly more interesting. Cats have natural night vision goggles. A lot of people think that it's because they have it's a really misnomer. They don't have goggles. I say that because a lot of people believe that the lenses of cat's eyes reflect light back and forth between them rapidly before they go forward to amplify it. I have heard this urban legends spoken. It's complete nonsense. It's not how it works. The reason that cats can see so well in the dark is actually because they have 6 to 8 times the amount of rod cells as a human eye. A human eye has rod and cone cells. Rods detect very well in low light, black and white images. Cones do not work very well in low light, they only work well in high light, and they perceive colour. You need actually 3 types of cones to perceive the full spectrum, which is why dogs and cats cannot actually perceive colour the same way that we do. But a cat's eyes are able, well, by having 6 times as many cones, they require 1/6 the amount of light that we do to be able to see.
As many rods.
Sorry, as many rods as we do. Thank you for the immediate edit. Cats have 6 times as many rods as we do. It's also
bastards.
they're also ironically nearsighted. You would think, what? I've seen cats see things from miles away, but the actual house cat has issues adjusting its iris. I know you've seen the sort of slit that it becomes and then the widely dilated pupil, but focusing distance of a cat from that to see something sharply, as we would from, say, 80 to 100 feet, they require to be 20 feet away.
Okay.
There's a lot more on Wikipedia about what it is that actually focuses and sharpens with a cat's eye.
Did you know that a cat is also technically has a blind spot just beneath its chin? It can't physically see that bit just underneath its jaw. So whereas it can see just over its nose and it has its whiskers to detect, when it gets to the bowl and it can see that bit is empty, it can't see that bit that is still full and genuinely thinks the bowl is empty. It can't see just there, which is why mice can get away from it. It is literally just underneath the sort of jowl line of a cat.
And until you clarified that, I was going to challenge you to look under your own friggin' chin and see something from there without a mirror, but no, now I understand. It's the tip of their chin, so when they're looking down, like if I look down right now, I cannot see my chin. No, I cannot see under my chin. But if a cat looked down, they would be able to see their chin, and therefore it would be obscuring part of their vision. A bit like we can always see our nose, but our brain just removes that from our memory.
Did you guys hear the one about they injected a guy's eyes with, I can't remember what it was, but he obtained night vision, but it was through chemicals rather than...
There's been a lot of trials with, before I start waxing lyrical about trials of certain things, I'm guessing in this it would depend. Is it just that he could see night vision as we see it with night vision goggles, or he could see colour, daylight vision?
His vision at night was greatly improved. People went and stood in fields at various different depths and he could spot them, and they held up signs and he could read the signs and things like that.
We're not stealing your fact, are we?
No, no one's going to ever steal this fact. We've got to get away from the whole night vision thing, because there's no such thing as night vision per se. If you are in a room that has 0 photons, there is nothing that you can do without introducing some form of light or information relaying material to be able to see. So I'm being very, very facetious, but technically all night vision is brightness enhancing or luminosity enhancing.
So it's the whole owls versus bat thing.
Yes.
Dave, we're up next.
So my fact for technology and cats is actually a workaround that has had to be introduced for virtual reality headsets because of cats. There is a problem if you have a virtual reality headset. You cannot see anything.
Blindingly obvious.
Because you're wearing a headset on your face.
Blindingly. Get it?
So,
just in case it wasn't.
Blindingly obvious.
Thank you for filling in the blank.
So, when you're in the VR space, if you cannot see that your cat has decided to come up and nuzzle up to your legs and you're just about to start wave 2 on the action shooter that has just been released, you may at 9:30 accidentally kick your cat across the lounge.
Through a window or something, yeah.
Take your headset off, wonder which one it was, and to this day still not know which cat I kicked. That's the kicker I was hoping you could say. So there is a lot of people in the modding community for this, and they have made a very simple program. Because it is tracking you within the space, it's very simple for it to be able to detect some other contiguous blob entering the space. And so long as you assume that you don't... Well, it would work for babies as well, but they're not so much...
Because you don't want to kick the baby.
If you can't kick the baby, use the helicopter.
But it would work for any infant or small animal that would be walking into your space, and it just puts up an alert that something has moved into your play space, which allows you to stop moving. At that point, it's not a problem. You can use the pass-through camera to see into the real world and stroke the cat, fuss the cat, go feed them, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Attend to your child, stop playing games, you horrible parent.
It might not be your child, though, in all fairness.
No, if it's not your child, like, why
Then
would
kick
you
away.
ever look after it? Are you being paid? Why did you agree to this?
You know, about half an hour after they introduced that added feature, there was a availability on Steam Workshop to turn the contiguous blob into a football.
Oh, that's amazing.
I am genuinely worried about when extra tracking comes out and you are able to kick things, because the amount of controllers that have been banged into walls, and walls that have been damaged by controllers, not the other way around. Like, a guy has taken a chunk out of his wall with the Vive controllers. This was posted about a month after they were released, with the title, "The controllers are pretty durable, guys, don't worry about it." But yeah, one guy has strapped one to his foot to practice as kicking things, and he did manage to kick it off of his foot, which is hilarious for the video, but there are going to be kicking incidents in VR. I've already punched my mum twice in the face. It's not a great thing.
So I'm confused, this whole kicking thing. Why did he put a controller on his foot?
So the
To
current...
track your movement.
The current iteration of the system, there is a headset and then two controllers that you hold in your hands, and they have infrared receivers on them, and they can detect infrared that's being emitted in vertical and horizontal sweeps from two sides of the room. That's how they track your position. So since there is no other system available right now, the company who designed it, Valve, have not made any extra components. If you are a developer and you are making a football game and you have a VR space and you've put a football down, the only way to track something are these controllers. He can just assign one of them to be a foot, strap it to his shoe, and then test out his football game. There is one of someone playing hacky sack in VR, and if you wonder why would you ever do that, well, you don't have to go and get hacky sack and restart. You press a button and you just start practicing.
Just think how good that will be for Olympic athletes. Going back to the Olympic theme that we've got at the moment, VR is a very, very realistic and immersive experience, and actually getting you to perform your skill by putting you into that environment and simulating being at Beijing, being at London, being at Rio, and going through those
alone in your room.
Is David still reading a fact?
Yeah, I was going to say, we got...
No, that is the general premise of the fact that it's not what's written here.
Cool.
This fact sheet is a ruse to surprise you. I'm not actually talking about what's on this fact sheet.
These are not the facts you're looking for.
Unfortunately, the fact that I had on my fact sheet for this one, there is not a lot of information that I can provide. The other two, I'm fine, but for this one, I got the idea to do the VR.
After kicking your cat.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Well, that was why the guy came up with it originally, and then one person with his child. But
Why was he kicking your cat?
Why are you kicking your child?
since when have I
You have a child?
News to me. Learning new things today.
Cool. So round 3 was technology. Are we going to go with lawyers, voyeur, felines gone wild? Are we going to go with Chris's night vision that isn't really night vision because we've already covered this? Not going into it again. Or are we going to go with Dave's Sixth Sense your cat?
I'm going to have to vote for Laura's fact. She started off on a high point with the animated toys, and went on from there. Finding out what your cat is up to whilst you're out and about and seeing how promiscuous it actually is probably the most interesting out of all of them.
Indeedly doodly.
I'm going to have to go for Laura's fact as well. I was very entertained by the fact that we didn't really listen to the fact at all, and we just made jokes throughout the whole
Lasers.
thing, and
Yeah,
lasers and all the rest. So yeah, Laura, thank you for providing that wonderful fact, which I genuinely have no idea about.
Laura, who are you going with?
I would go for Dave's because I do think it's a great thing to have brought in for VR, etc. Except I can't vote for something because genuinely you kicked our cat. So Christopher, you get my vote today.
Well, with that, I'm going to vote for your fact, Dave, because I like the idea of kicking cats. But
You're never coming round our house again.
oh, it's fine. I don't kick cats I know. Or ones I don't know. Alright, so for that round, let's see. We've got Laura winning. That was pathetic. So for that round, we've got Laura winning.
Yay!
Yay!
Is that one apiece?
That is one apiece.